All right, we rolling? Yeah. As long as we're rolling. Well, hello everybody. My name's Rich. I'm a member of the LightRoom, as you all probably know. Oh, and I guess I just want to briefly go over this whole incredible experience that we've all had. I'm going to give everyone individually an opportunity to come up and talk, but I just wanted to sort of like blow through some of the ideas, you know, from the conception through the completion. I guess to me, this started, my wife and I run a video production company, and one of our clients is Project Home. And through our work with Project Home, we realized that the residents and the community that Project Home sort of imbibes is this richness of diverse people who have like these really great ideas and points of view about certain things, as well as the artistry that they do. There's painters, there's people who make candles, there's photographers, and just going to some of their shows really just blew me away. And I thought, wow, the LightRoom is in Fairmount. Project Home, one of their residences is in Fairmount. I'm like, wouldn't it be a great opportunity for us to sort of get together in this collaboration? So this is sort of the incubus about this. And we sort of went into it with no expectations and, you know, even no plan other than we wanted to sort of figure out what the perspective of home means and sort of like figure out what that means to everybody. And all these individuals get their idea, at least artistically, about what home means. And I know this is a big Project Home thing. Sister Mary, just interviewing her, she is what home means to me is something big that she always talks about. And that kind of like resonated with me. So it sort of started with Project Home, of course. And Project Home, I'm sure most of you know Project Home, but I'll just do a brief intro. Project Home was founded to end homelessness in Philadelphia, and I think they're doing a pretty good job of it. They have residents and buildings all over the city, and they have a rich diverseness of housing and, of course, opportunities. And the medical and education we just started learning about, especially their Honickman Learning Center, which is a phenomenal facility for people to sort of, you know, hone their art or just hook up with technology. So this is the front of the 1515 Fairmount building, and they're in our neighborhood. And a little brief thing about the LightRoom. The LightRoom is I guess the best way to describe it is we're a cooperative. We're a bunch of photographers who share space. And part of that sharing of the space is sharing the like-minded idea that we're a little bit greater than each other, that there's something about the photographic process that we want to instill in others. And I think that is sort of ingrained in our mission, that if you read our mission, we're furthering the knowledge and the appreciation and the understanding of the photographic art. So we're not just about us as photographers doing our own thing, but it's about sharing that knowledge and hoping, especially the older processes, never die. So this was our first meeting. Of course, there's some people that are here that aren't in that photo, and there's some people that are in the photo that aren't here. But it started in about December. I think this was late December of last year, and it was sort of just like, let's talk about what this idea is and what can we do, or what does home mean to me. And we came back with a lot of good ideas, but I think the best thing is, I think in February, late February, early February, we started our first shoot day, and it was in Project Home's community room. We brought a makeshift studio. You can sort of see the lighting in the backdrop. And we asked people to bring objects, because we thought in our initial conversations that, what does home mean to me? Maybe you can bring an object that means something to you, and that would start that dialogue. So as you can see in some of these photos, even though they're just portraits, they're some people holding images. And of course, Michelle, and she'll talk a little bit, came up with the idea of just photographing still lifes of the actual objects, and maybe have the people write on the actual photograph their thoughts about what that object means to them. So there's another thing. There's Kevin working with her on our little makeshift still life set. That's me with a Lomo Kino camera, which is what you see on the right of the gallery over here is a motion picture aspect. And then here are some other behind the scenes, Rachel, of course. Some other people from that day. staff too, right? We had staff as well as residents. Some really cool images. And of course another Scarlett, yeah, we all love her. And then the Project Home logo. So throughout, I guess the next month or two, February into March, we went out and we shot. And we had shots of the city because home to some of us was the actual village or the neighborhood that we live in. Home to others was objects that we felt attached to. But I think as we started getting into the editing process, and this was a really huge day where we had photos everywhere, all over tables, and people were going through, it was like, what are the images that resonate to us? And it seems like, especially this one, it seemed like it was the pictures of each other that were resonating more. I think that as we talk about home and about safety and about things that mean more to us, it was more of a sense of being included with each other and having a sense of knowing that there's other people that are like-minded in the same neighborhood rather than a structure that we live in. The safety of knowing that there's someone else out there like you was a little bit more important to us in our art and the photography that we created. So these are the images, these are the outcome. This is, of course, is our signature piece by Anna Rita, but it really shows Julia off. And here's another one of Michelle's pieces. You can see how people actually wrote what these images mean. And that also has a sense because maybe there is something that we kind of resonate, maybe a flower that someone gave us at one time that's meaningful, like a grandmother or a mother. And so amazing. This is one of Kevin's portraits. Just really shows off the amazing people and these very sense of connection between the photographer. These are Ron's images. And here's some really great, James, you have a really great way of looking at sort of like a parody in our world around us. And I really like the way you've connected things like this image, which people born in this decade probably don't even know what that phone is, or even these images of the newspaper. Who buys a real newspaper anymore? Everything just is on the phone or on the computer. Yeah, exactly. And this was an older piece that I did, part of one of my Project Home things, but it kind of really resonated with me about the sheer, just like these beautiful moments that occur in these buildings. And this is Dale?
That's Sanders.
Yeah, painting a watercolor of one of the residents who was playing the piano during this whole, and it really resonated with me. It's like, wow, there's some really great work being done here, and there's some really interesting people, and I want to get to know these people. And again, this is another James photo. Again, you have that lattice looking through this barbed wire at this modern building, so you have this sort of like sense of being captured, but there's this incredible modern building behind there. Another one of Ron's. This is another found image or a found piece of work that resonates. This is something that he created, Ron?
Yeah.
Very nice. Another one, this is the one, James, I was talking to you about before, the one that we didn't print for the show, but another one that really resonated with me, the way the light was captured. Another one of Kevin's prints. Here's another one of Anna Rita's, yeah. This is one of Kevin's pieces that Michelle took. Wear it with pride and luck. I love it. This is one of my favorites, although Ron rolls his eyes every time he sees it. But it really resonates about that whole connection because that's your sister and you.
Right.
And having you in the image in two different ways, in two different instances. And I chose to keep you blurry in the background to sort of bring out the fact that this is what's most important to you, this memory of your sister. And I thought that really resonated about the whole connection between each other. And again, I love this shot too, another Michelle shot of the basketball. And, bring on the basketball court, make me feel like I was part of a team. I mean, God, that just totally like goes in what I was thinking about, and hopefully everyone was thinking about this connection, this team, this thing that we're all like in the same boat together. And if we kind of like, you know, gel our ideas, we'll be in a better place. Another one of Anna Rita's. This is Kevin. This is one of your photos that you're holding, right, of the clothespin. Nice. Just a great shot, great expression. Again, Julia, you know, she was a great inspiration to us all because she had this incredible energy, and of course she brought her own wardrobe and makeup and everything. Yeah, and everyone had a piece. And if you look down the side hall here, you see 4 different interpretations of Julia, which we really loved working with her. Again. Sparkle feels like home to me because she is my baby and she is special. She makes me feel very special. Just another great juxtaposition of image with the camera and the scissor and the piece of film, the bird flying away. Very nice. Another Anna Rita's pieces. And that's it.